Recorded a game earlier and I actually analyzed it and all, but it didn't. I'd had my mic off, so I guess we're playing another one. This was a while ago, so I'm not even sure. It depends on how exciting the game, but the other game was pretty instructive, I thought. So kind of upset that it didn't record, but hopefully we can get another game. For some reason, also my games have been taking forever to go in. I don't know what's going on. If anyone has any suggestions, like for some reason recently, like even Rapid Blitz and Bullets taking forever. And when this happens, it normally what's it called? I can't even abort the game because for some reason I'll either go against a really low rated player and I don't want to play a low rated player, or I'll play someone that's really high rated, which in that case it works out for me because I want to play people higher than me. So yeah, I'm probably gonna just cut to the game. Okay, well, speaking of that, so we get to E4. I want to check this guy's profile. Okay, it doesn't look like it's a cheater, not a new account. So we're gonna play his Black Deemer Gambit. He accepts it, which I think is the best thing to do against this. I play the Scandi myself, so I have a lot of what's it called? Experience in this Von Popiel position. But it's very I don't know how else to say it. I have a line against this that I play that I learned recently because I used to struggle against this Black Deemer opening, but I'm gonna be quiet for a little. So he goes all the way back, which is I think it is the best move, but it gets really tricky here. If he plays E6, you break immediately with D5. And it gets really, really tricky. So he's starting to go Bishop G4. So I'm debating whether just to take or just play H6. I'm just going to play H6, to be honest. He's getting this very solid setup. I'll just develop here, I guess. He's probably going to play E6, which makes sense. But his bishop is completely blocked out. We'll just develop. Okay, so he's starting my bishop right now. I don't like the idea of taking. I might just back up, to be honest. I'm not sure. Backing. Is there any ideas? Okay, yeah, let's just back up. Let's play G5 on the next move. I think that makes the most sense. Like I don't understand, like I don't see the big idea here. I'm gonna probably play Bishop D3 or G5 next. He goes here. I think G5 is a good move. I'm trying to see what this accomplishes. Doesn't really do anything. Let's just push this pawn. We'll go for a kingside attack. We'll go Bishop D3 next. Or not Bishop D3, probably G5. G5 makes a lot of sense. Here we'll go Bishop D3. And I think Rook here makes a lot of sense. Thinking which rook, though. Bring this rook into the game. If he takes, I like my position a lot, actually. We always have this. The knights are guarding each other, kind of. Oh, wow. He's allowing me to take here. Well, that was just mate. Okay. Huh. That was pretty easy. I mean, I don't know what... He just blundered mate and won. I mean, this wasn't that interesting of a game. Like, there isn't really anything to analyze. I might even play a second game. I mean, he just blundered this idea. I don't understand how. I didn't think this was mate. I thought it was just. I guess it was mate. So, I mean, this is like our new Blitz peak now. 2036. So, um, I guess what I could do is, I mean, this game, there's really nothing to analyze. I could just go over the previous game. We'll go over this game too, just some ideas in it, and then I'll go over the game I had earlier. I was recording it, but I didn't have the audio, so we'll go over those two games because I think the other one was also pretty instructive too, and I can also talk about some lines in this gambit. So instead of in the Scandinavian. Instead of going into all, like, because I also play Scandinavian, I don't really want to go into all this, and I'm sure I could play well if I wanted to, but, something that you should do is try to get your opponent into uncomfortable territory, and D4 is literally a transposition into the Black Mardimer Gambit, and Scandinavian players should have a line against this, I still think so, especially if you're 2036 like this guy. You should have a line, but uh, it's not the what's it called? They're not going to be as comfortable in it. Like when I see the Black Mardimer now, I'm a lot more comfortable in it. But you know, you should have a line against this. So this Von Popiel gambit is very tricky. The traditional Black Mardimer is just a straight up F3 takes, and you get a position where you have the open F file. And there are some tricks, like, for example, like, I know there's trick like this where you can sack the queen for mates. This is a different thing. I never play this, though. I don't think it's, if you're playing for tricks, it's still good, but that's besides the point. This Von Popiel attack, the whole point of it is to bishop f5 is the most natural move, and I don't think it's the best move. I actually think c6 is the best move. And you get a position like this. And I played this, one of my friends plays this Von Popiel against me because we have a similar repertoire. And I got this game over the board. It was like a 15 plus 10 rapid game, and I kind of just got a good position. I think against c6 you should still insist, hey, take my pawn. Try to get something like this, and I think this is slightly better. But most people, like I said, aren't prepared against this very obscure line. Like, no one's going to really, if you're a Scandinavian player, you're probably not going to look at this, because this Von Popiel is also, it's not even the main Black Mardimer. This F3 move is the main one. There's also this Rider Gambit, too, which is also pretty interesting. But here, you're double attacking this bishop and this b7 pawn, and once this b7 pawn goes, like if they just play e6, there are some tricks where you can go bishop here and actually force recapture with the king because of all these pins, and the queen needs to stay attached to the rook. So I think the best move here is something like this, so you never have to worry about that. But it's still very, very like tricky position. But we get this. He goes all the way back, which is technically the main move. When I say the main move, it's like the most common mistake. Bishop c8. It looks, it doesn't look like a good move, but it looks relatively safe. But, you guys see the knight, the queen, the bishop are out, long castles. And if they ever play this, you just want to break with d5, and all sorts of problems happen here. You can see that the rook's aligned with the queen, the bishop's aligned with the knight. All our pieces are getting out, bishop, knight are ready to go. Like the bishop's ready to go to c4, even b5 in some situations. The knight's ready to come out to, h3, and jump to g5 or jump to f4. So, it's a very complex position. Here he goes c6, and what c6 does is it re-invites the bishop to come into the game because it's, it protects this pawn, which is the big weakness. So he's starting to go bishop g4. So I decided to go pawn to h4 or h3 just to get rid of this. Because I've actually fallen into this trap where I just get my queen and rook pinned. I think another move is actually taking, which probably Engine likes, but it's just like I don't want to help them develop. The Engine likes this, but I don't know. I think this is fine. Just, suffocating them, let them drown in their own misery. So knight here, I think this is inaccurate. This kind of happens in the Von Henning. I actually had a cool over-the-board Von Henning game. I might show it, actually, but, what's it called? But what this does is I go here, and I knew he was going to play e6, which probably still is the best move, but you get a very Von Henning style where this bishop is kind of useless, this light-squared bishop, and it's even worse because here he's already spent the tempo moving it back and forth. So this just looks like a Von Henning on steroids, kind of. And what this does is, when I can go back here, and if he castles, there's all sorts of tactics on these light squares. I can threaten. In some situations, I can put my rook on f1, sack the rook. I've talked about this before, I think, in my previous video where, the queen comes here, aligns with this. So it's kind of like, similar style of position. Knight to e2, I think this is just a developing move. I just wanted to get my rooks connected. I want to just get my rooks into the game. I was thinking of going rook e1 next, aligning the rook with the king. There's nowhere really safe for this king to go, and he's so far behind in development. All my pieces are on great squares, So he plays queen out here. So here it's like, he's trying to, threaten my bishop. I think people think they're so cool and so sneaky. Like, oh, I can win your bishop. I'm so cool. Like, and I was just like, I was thinking of going here, but I was thinking of ideas to go queen here and queen here to attack on the king side when you didn't even castle. But that's the whole reason I didn't go here. And also here, you probably can just go here, which I think is weakening. It's slightly weakening, I think, in my opinion. It's a weakening move, and there's always ideas for me to go back, go queen g3, or even push g4, I think. So I think this is not a bad move, but I just wanted to go queen here, eventually bring my bishop back to d3, create threats on this square. He goes bishop out here. I think it's fine. It's a bit awkward because it's undefended. I thought it was a bit awkward. I think bishop e7 is a better move. I just go g4, right? I just want to, press on the gas. If he wants to castle king side, he's going to have to castle into, a big attack. And I didn't calculate everything here, but just intuitively, I think this is already very bad for black, or very difficult to defend. He goes here, trying to attack my bishop. But like I said, I wanted to bring the bishop back here anyways. There's no really prospects on this diagonal. But on this diagonal, I'm further telling him not to castle long or short. So I played this. He goes knight d5. And here I was like, okay. He's not really threatening anything. If he takes this knight is very nicely placed on e2. Grab it. I don't even have to damage my pawn structure or anything. So I don't know. This is just kind of like a waiting move, I guess. I think he was worried that I'd take here, and take it back. And I think, yeah, that's probably what I would have done. I was even thinking here to go for something like this, maybe. I don't know. I think this is all a bit unnecessary. I think just bringing the bishop back to d3, that's where I wanted to bring it. Anyway, so here I just go rook here, and, he just blunders mate in one. I think maybe he thought he could retreat to d8, or he just completely missed it. I don't know what he missed here, but, yeah, that was just a game, so pretty good analysis of that. I'm also going to analyze this other game. I already went over it, but I thought it was a pretty instructive game. I was recording it, and my audio was off, unfortunately, but we'll just go over it. So this is a Scandinavian. You guys have seen in my previous videos, like I got my Portuguese stuff going, where I sacked, quote-unquote, sacked three pieces for mate, but really wasn't sacking 3 pieces for mate. My opponent just messed up. But I set a kind of trap. But takes, bishop takes. This is like one of the more solid lines, bishop e2. There's other lines like knight f3 and f3, and I think bishop e2 is the best line, mainly because it avoids all the tricks. Like, I think knight f3 is still good, but I think black still gets a lot of attacking prospects here, and if white's unfamiliar in this position, which they most likely are, it's probably not going to end well. So I think bishop e2 is the best move, but I still think it gets white in a lot of issues, and for some reason, people blunder their pawns, these center pawns, always. So I take, queen takes, castles, knight to c6, b3. B3 I think is an inaccuracy, which I've already analyzed this game with the engine, unfortunately. I already analyzed it without the engine than with the engine. But even here, without the engine, I knew this. B3 is the idea to either fee and Keto to overprotect this d5 pawn or push c4. I don't think c4 does any justice, just because after c4 you can't even push d4, and it just weakens a lot of squares. I think it's overextending, I think. But castles, he plays c4 anyways, but the queen always has a square on h5. He can go knight here, you just back up, honestly. You can even, this just blunders a pawn also, you know, so. You know, bishop here, this is the big mistake of the game. You just go d5. And here, I'm just up a clean pawn. And here, I was talking about it in the game, but I had no mic on, to go here, but I didn't see any clear follow-up here after this because the queen needs to stay attached to this knight. And here, I was looking at pawn here and bishop here, and I didn't really see anything concrete, so I decided to just play bishop here, which I don't think is a bad move. Like, if you look at the game review, I had advantage the whole game. Just developing a piece, I'm up a pawn, there's nothing wrong. But here, I should have seen this idea of knight here, here, trapping the rook, and then forking this. I think this is very good for black. I think I open up a lot of squares. My pawn is getting closer to promotion. I just didn't see this idea. And I was also getting under time pressure too, so I just didn't see. I should have just calculated because I was all forcing. So rook he8, I think is a good move, just getting a rook to the open file. You know, I always saw this knight move. He just kicks my knight or my queen around a couple of times. I go knight to e5, not even to attack the queen, but also to prevent this move. You know, I just get rid of this threat, you know, just get rid of him attacking my queen. I didn't want to move because I think here my queen is actually trapped. Actually, no, I can move here, but I don't want to do that. So that's not what happened in the game. He moved his queen back, which I think here, all the way back here is bad. He just cuts off this rook, and their idea is to go d4, opening up this bishop, and then going bishop d4. I was debating going this, but I was under time pressure. I just thought, okay, let me just go for an attack. This is just another weakening move. I just get to go queen here. And if you guys can picture this, once this diagonal is open with this bishop pinning this pawn to the king, this bishop is hanging. So, like, if you guys can visualize this bishop all the way here, pinning the king. So, you know, we just played something like this. Here, just hanging a pawn. And I think here it's kind of like GG's, kind of what I was thinking. Just playing moves. Here, Engine found this move, rook c8, and he can't even move back here because of this pin. I didn't see that. I was very low on time. But I just took back, and I was like, I'll double up here. Here, I made a mistake. Instead of rook d2, d7, I didn't see here that he could take here, threatening mate. I should have played c, and I ended up playing c6 next. It's only move, just to avoid this mate on a8. The rook kind of blocks into my escape. Here I should have just played c6, but here I thought, I don't know. I thought it was weakening. I don't know. I was afraid of this, but I mean, I think my attack comes in just way faster. I didn't want to give him a hook, is what I was thinking. I get another piece, and I could even triple stack, but my attack is already so overwhelming here. I should have just played c6. And the game ends very nicely. Just he messes up here. He pushes the pawn, and my queen infiltrates on the second rank. So yeah, this is my game in the Scandinavian. I just wanted to show another game because, I don't know, this game kind of ended super quickly. But, you know, 2036 is my new high, and it's also, like, one of the first times my blitz is higher than my rapid, you know. So, pretty cool stuff. I guess road to 2100, huh? I mean, shoot. And I score a lot better with white than I am black, like you guys see. So, winning the last game with black was kind of a moral victory. But yeah, 2036 rapid, or blitz, I never thought I could get here. I thought once I got to 2000, you know, just had to stay at 2000, but, you know, I mean, because I tilted all the way back down. If you guys remember my previous video, but just sticking with it. Hopefully I can get 2100. Doing puzzles, doing tactics. I played a couple of classical games over the board this past weekend. I might upload a video on those, but I don't want anyone to find out who I am, I guess. I'm joking, not really that, but I had a cool over-the-board Von Henning game, which I want to look at. Maybe I'll upload that. I think it'll be cool. Because over-the-board, my rating is a lot lower than my online rating, because I've only played in 2 over-the-board tournaments. But I beat a 1700 over-the-board. And also all these players over-the-board, their ratings online are around 2000. Most of them, at least. And so, yeah, I think that'll be my next video. Probably analyzing my Von Henning game, or maybe even the game I lost. I lost a game in the modern Scandinavian. I lost another game too, which I was completely winning, but I might upload those two later. But the thing is about that is they'll be very long videos. I'm sure this will also be a pretty long video. Actually, hopefully not. Hopefully it'll only be 20 minutes. But yeah, I'll probably upload those. Or just more Blitz. You know, I'm having fun with Blitz. I played a Rapid game today too, just because I felt kind of weird that my Rapid rating was lower than my Blitz rating, so I kind of wanted to get it up. But you know, hopefully you guys enjoyed and have a good day.